Prof Mumin Chen, Deputy Representative, Republic of China, Taiwan. Dr. S.C. Vats, Chairman, Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. Vice Chairman, Vineet Vats and Suneet Vats. My dear friend and a very respected Editor of Diplomatic Affairs, Shri Deepak Kumar Jha. My colleagues on the body of faculty and dear students. Professor Chen is a scholar diplomat who today represents the Republic of China, founded by Sun Yat-sen and groomed and nurtured into a most modern economy by late Chiang Kai-shek. Taiwan today is a superpower in its own right, about which Professor Chen would talk to you in detail. May I request Vice Chairman of the Institute, Mr. Suneet Vats, to please deliver the opening remarks.
Morning, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity, Siddharth sir. Chairman sir, the guest for today, and he's an eminent scholar, a true polymath. When Siddharth sir shared his profile, I was impressed, with the kind of, and he's a true academician, a diplomat thereafter, but a true academician, I would say, Professor Chen. Deepak ji, for being instrumental in, getting everything, organized and helping us through so that we can, project ourselves as an institution which would, is really striving for and to achieve, the dreams that were being laid down by our chairman, Dr. S.C. Vats sir. We were fortunate, and we are fortunate today to have him here. While we were going through different presentations and putting across the kind of things that we visualize in terms of what we can do together as a nation. And Taiwan is a great success story. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but then it is something that they have done for the last 4 decades or more, where the global hub of manufacturing, from being agriculture based economy to changing itself and transforming its nation, and that requires character, the kind of leadership that that nation would have exhibited, the kind of citizenship that would have been exhibited to become a superpower and a powerhouse of getting into microchips and being the foremost. 80% of the iPhones that we use today, and sir was rightly mentioning at that time, that we only see a logo which is Apple, which is US based, but then the entire backbone to Apple phones is coming through Taiwan and sourced through Taiwan. And that's how their impact is. And the impact from being, if I look at India and Taiwan for that matter, it was completely razed to ground during World War II by US. They have picked up themselves in terms of what they could do and deliver to the world, and they became so relevant today that none of you and the future technologies would possibly you cannot imagine Taiwan not being there. So that's the impact that this country has on the map, technological map of the world. The footprints from toys to apparels to anything that you talk of is all being done. Athletic shoes, 40% gets through Taiwan, fine. And the story is very interesting. I would not like to steal it from Professor Chen to share his part of the story, because he has lived through it. He's there to, he's much more competent than me to, tell you on the inside as to how that country became so great. And there's a lot of learning from, such like countries. And we are fortunate, and students are fortunate to hear out this story, which is so inspiring and so motivating in terms of how a small nation can pick on the bigger bullies and yet make a mark for itself. I would not like to get into politics of it, because there is a lot of geopolitical significance to it, how Japan exploited it, China for that matter, and so on and so forth. But then that's not our purpose here. Our purpose is that because the new course that Chairman sir got after a lot of, and the only 2 colleges to have got that course in Delhi is we are privileged, because Chairman sir has pushed really hard And that's his vision that is being carried forward, that we wanted somebody from, an embassy to come and see and, provide us with some kind of validation of our hard work, sir. And we really hope that we are able to, get across to universities in Taiwan. Our students are brilliant, our faculty is brilliant, and they will be showcasing a different kind of talent. We are 40 years late, I would say, but then, as they say, doing anything is never too late, because there are a lot of technologies, Internet of Things, as it is going to come. The amount of, and quantum, bits and qubits, as they would say, it has its own challenges when it comes to, making those microchips and integrated circuits. But as we see the front runners to be, the Taiwan would lead the way. Any boom that you saw in China was all done by at least 6 of the top companies that had operated from Chinese mainland were all Taiwanese companies. And they were the ones who were actually pushing their growth to the level that they have been now reckoned as the second biggest, economy in the world. So the contributions that have come through, a nation of this nature is something incredible. We have a lot to learn from them, and a long way to go in terms of what can be done, and the potential is immense, I would say. And I think with those words, sir, our heart is filled with gratitude, and we thank you for coming all the way and giving your time, and also you'll be sharing your valuable insights, which will be equally, beneficial to all of us sitting here. Deepak sir, once again, thank you, and Siddharth sir, and everybody, thank you so much.
As I mentioned earlier, Prof Mumin Chen is representative of Republic of China in India and professor at Graduate Institute of International Politics, National Chung Seng University, Taichung, Taiwan. He has also served as Vice President for International Affairs and Director of the Center for Studies on South Asia and Middle East as NCHU. Before coming to India in September 2020, that was in midst of the COVID lockdowns. In 2020, Shen devoted time to research and studies on international relations and promoted cooperation between Taiwanese and foreign think tanks in various areas. He founded and supervised South Asia Watch in Taiwan, an information platform providing news and analysis about India and South Asia countries since 2014. He also founded the Taiwan Association for South Asian Studies and served as chairperson from 2017 to 2020. His research mainly focuses on non-traditional security issues, foreign relations of China, politics, and security in South Asia and Middle East. He has published 6 books and co-edited 3 books with topics related to India, South Asia, and international relations, including the first research report on Taiwan-India relations published by Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation in February 2020. May I request Shri Vineet Vats, Vice Chairman, to escort Professor Shen to the stage for felicitation by the management. May I request Shri Suneet Vats to join and to present a statue of our pathfinder, Swami Vivekananda. And finally, our most esteemed chairman, Dr. H.C. Vats, a visionary institution builder, a lawmaker of very high repute, and a wildlife photographer. We have the honor of our chairman presenting to you some of the best pictures from the most dense tiger reserves of the country over a period of 30 years. May I now request Professor Shen for his much-awaited address. And Professor Shen says that he has also brought a gift for us, which we will get delivered at the end of the address. Thank you.
Because when I first came this morning, you showed me a film about your university. I also have a film about Taiwan. It just came to my mind, I should show the film, yeah. As a video. Yeah, no, video, yeah, okay. So there is a, okay, the last one. No, the last one, yeah. No, not this one, the last one. Just 1 minute. Thank you. So you see, we don't just make computer chips. Yeah, we we also have our culture and and other things. Yeah. Okay. So you will help me change the slide. Okay, no problem. Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me here today, Dr. Watts, and the friends here at VIPS, and also the students. I'm really, really happy. Earlier, when you introduced me and Taiwan, you call us superpower. This is my first time hear someone calling Taiwan superpower. Yeah, make me very happy. Yeah, okay. You heard my introduction about me. I'm professor and in Taiwan. I teach international relations, but right now I'm working here in Delhi in our mission, Taiwan mission in India as a deputy. So I'm professor and also diplomat, but I'm not the technology person. I'm not. Yeah. So actually today's a presentation because when Professor Mishra discussed with me about the topic for presentation today, he want me to talk a little bit about IT. Yeah. So actually I try to make some preparations about IT. So this will be among all hundreds of presentations I made in Taiwan and India. This is my first presentation. Talk a little bit about semiconductor. The first time, yeah. Okay, so correct me if I say anything wrong, okay? Yeah, okay, so let's get into the next slide. Yeah. I just show you the short film about Taiwan, and also the I'm from Taiwan. But I suppose probably most students here never been to Taiwan. Okay. And how much do you know about Taiwan? Yeah, when I first came to India, which was in 2006 or 7, it was my first time coming to India. Actually, I came to Delhi, and at the time I told people that I'm from Taiwan. People had no idea. Yeah, okay. In the next 15, 16 years, I keep visiting India, and I think gradually people knew. Yeah, but they still don't know much about Taiwan. Of course, Indian. You know about America, you know about UK, you know about in Asia, you know about Singapore, okay, you know about Hong Kong, you know more about Korea. But for Taiwan, I think it's still very it's a new place. Yeah, what does the country look like? Yeah, and what do people do over there? People only have a very, very rough, unclear, image about Taiwan. Yeah. Part of my job here in India is try to introduce my country to Indian friends. But there are some easy ways for you to know about Taiwan. First, our president is a woman. Yeah. Dr. Tsai, yeah, just like India, and yeah, so yeah, she is leading our country, yeah, and she is actually an international lawyer, yeah, also a professor, and she became president in 2016 and got re-elected in 2020, yeah, and her term will end next year, yeah. And she actually a very outspoken person, very good in international law, English, yeah. And the most important thing is actually she visited India before, yeah. In 2012 she came here, yeah. So before I came to India, and she told me because she received me before I came here, and she said that she missed India and she hoped that in future she will come visit again. Yeah, and perhaps yeah, next year after she complete her term, she will come and come to VIPS. Yeah. Yeah. Here in VIPS, you also have journalism and also mass communication department. So, and you also have your own film festival. Okay. So I knew there are a lot of movie lovers among the audience. You must know this movie, Life of Pi, right? Okay. Yeah. Life of Pi, a great story. Yeah, great story. And I think it talks about Indian philosophy in a very delicate and a very beautiful way. Yeah. But do you know that film is actually directed by a Taiwanese director? Li, yeah. He's a Taiwanese director living in the US, and he made the film, and it became big box hit. Yeah. And here in India, many people also watch the film. But actually, do you know actually that film was made in a studio in Taiwan, not in India. Yeah, so the tiger and the sea, actually they are in my city, Taichung. Yeah, with the help of computer technology, so he could create the scenes that just like he was, Pi and a tiger. What's the name of the tiger? I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, it is in Taiwan. Yeah. So actually, Taiwan and India, we do have some connections. Yeah. Okay. Even a film. Yeah. And the third photo is this one. This one you don't know. It's a TV drama in Taiwan. Became very popular. It was very popular. It's the top hit in Taiwan last year. The name of this TV drama is called The Golden Leaf, and it means tea. Yeah. Okay. Today, India is very proud of your tea culture. When I came here today, this morning, you keep asking me if you want more chai, Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. In Taiwan, we also drink tea a lot. Yeah, we drink tea. We drink green tea, we drink black tea, okay? But one thing I think that most Indians don't know is that actually the black tea in Taiwan, all black tea in Taiwan, was first introduced from India in 1925. Yeah, in 1925, when Taiwan was under Japanese rule, and they want to grow tea in Taiwan, so they want to find the best tea tree, and they found it from Assam. Yeah, so the Assam tea tree, was introduced to Taiwan in 1925. Yeah, so today, all black tea are origin from Assam. Yeah, so you see, it was 1925. So in 2 years, 2025 will be 100-year anniversary that Indian tea being introduced to Taiwan. Yeah. So actually, we do have a lot of connections. Yeah, okay, not just computer chips. Okay, more things to explore. Yeah. Okay, next. Actually, the image of the Taiwan also changed. Okay, I don't want to get into detail, but I found that in a newspaper 50 years ago, when some Indian politicians, I think parliament members, they want to visit Taiwan. And they contact Taiwan government and say that we want to visit you, Formosa. We want to visit you Formosa. Okay, the Taiwan's ancient name is Formosa. At that time, the Taiwan government was furious. Why call us Formosa? We are China. We are Republic China. Yeah. Okay, it was 50 years ago. Yeah. Today, if you call us Formosa or you call us Taiwan, we will be very happy. Yeah, because we hope to be called Taiwan. We think Formosa is a beautiful name. If you call us Republic China, just you see my title, Republic China. Actually, you will make people confused because there's another China. Right? Okay. And so actually in Taiwan today, we think that it's good for Indian friends to call us Taiwan. Okay. And so you see that the Taiwan-India cooperation now became, a term that has been used. Yeah. So I think that the image of Taiwan also became, more positive, compared to decades ago. Next. Yeah. But where is Taiwan and what Taiwan is about? Okay, I give you some very general figures for you to see. It's an island. Okay, first you know it's an island, and it's a very small island compared to India. It's probably the size of a Kerala, and in terms of population, probably the size of a Delhi. Yeah. Okay, about 23 million. Yeah. But if you look at our figures, you see. That our life expectancy, literacy, urbanization, and the GDP, actually it's very good. Yeah, okay, it's very good. Yeah, compared to many developing countries. Of course, we also have some problem. Yeah, like the average age is 42 years old. Okay, what does it mean? Means that we have an aging society. Yeah, okay, many people are now become more aged. Yeah, you know the average age of India is only 27. Yeah, you are a young big country, and so Taiwan has technology, okay, but India has a human capital, have a human resources. Yeah, so actually this will be the common interest for us, for both sides, to have a collaboration in future. Next. Yeah. Okay. It's an island. But actually, about 70% of the land are mountains. Yeah. Okay. It's not okay. India also have a huge, great mountain, huge mountains. But in Delhi, it's a plain area. Yeah. But in Taiwan, actually, because of a lot of areas are mountains, so most people are actually living in the western plain area. Yeah, western plain area. It's a highly, highly condensed, highly dense population. Yeah, yeah. And the highest mountains in Taiwan is almost 4,000 meters high. Yeah, yeah. I like mountain because I do a lot of hiking in mountain. So in Delhi, no mountain. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Okay. It is a small island with a small population. But if you look at these are figures I show you. Okay. Taiwan is not small at all. Okay. You see that our trade last year in 2022 is 900 billion US dollar. India is a little bit higher. It's 1,100 billion US dollars. But in terms of export, you see, Taiwan actually is higher than India. Yeah. Okay. The reason is very simple. India is a big continent, so you have a lot of trade within the states. But Taiwan is a small island, and so the only way for us to survive, to develop, is to trade with other countries. So from the very beginning, Taiwan depends on trade a lot. Yeah, there's a difference between an island state and a continental state. Next. Yeah, and some more images about Taiwan. This is a Confucius temple. Yeah. Next. And this is a typical, scene of Taipei Street. Yeah, just like you see in Tokyo or Korea, yeah, a lot of people, nightlife. Thank you. Next. This is a National Opera House in my city, Taichung. Yeah, very modern architecture. And this is a martial arts arena in Tainan, my hometown. And actually, this is this is not a Chinese style building. This is a Japanese. Yeah, okay. Japanese architecture. So it means that because Taiwan was colonized by Japan, so actually we receive a lot of Japanese influence. And next, this is Hakka mansion. Here you also, India, you have a lot of Hakka noodle. Okay. Hakka is actually a linguistic group people, yeah. And in Taiwan, we also have a Hakka population, yeah. Next. And this is a Central Mountain Range. Next. Yeah, and on the eastern coast areas, very beautiful place you must see. Next. And we also have native tribes. Native tribe, just similar to the northeast of India. Yeah. We have 16 different tribes. So I show when I went to Mizoram and also to Nagaland. I was in Nagaland last month, and I showed the photos of Taiwan native tribe. They said, "Oh, yeah, they are very similar to us." Yeah. Same thing. When I was in Taiwan, I showed the photos of Indian Northeast. They also feel like same. Yeah, similar culture and similar living habits. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that is the the image of Taiwan, yeah. But your impression about Taiwan in general is still considered Taiwan as a high technology island. Okay, yeah. We make mobile phones, computers, yeah, all major IT products. Next. And remember during the COVID time, it was in 2020, 2021, and when the COVID was very serious over the world, including India. I remember in international media, Wall Street Journal, yeah, and some international media, they had this report. Yeah, I think it is early 2021. They say that the world is dangerously depend on Taiwan for semiconductors. Yeah, similar report came out on different media. And here in India also, the people are talking, oh, okay, well, Taiwan is that big. Yeah, Taiwan is that important because the most of computer chips we use are made in Taiwan. Yeah, so suddenly Taiwan became a spotlight. Suddenly Taiwan became a hot spot. Then everybody pay attention to Taiwan. Yeah, earlier people didn't. Yeah, people, oh, what is Taiwan? I don't care. Yeah, I don't know where it is. But suddenly people think it is an important place. They want to know more about. So after the COVID, I receive a lot of invitations from various think tanks and universities. Hey, I want to know more about your country. Come and talk. Yeah. Next. Yeah. But Taiwan is not the manufacturer of a semiconductor from the very beginning. No. Okay. Yeah, 50 years ago, Taiwan was a kingdom of Barbie dolls. Yeah. Do you know there's a Barbie movie recently? Yeah. Did you see that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're interested, you see, because when Taiwan people see the Barbie movie, and they have a very special feeling. Okay. Because most of the Barbie dolls were made in Taiwan. From 1967 to 1987, for about 20 years, Taiwan made roughly 1 billion of Barbie dolls. Yeah, about 80% of the Barbie dolls around the world are made in Taiwan. Yeah, there's a county near Taipei. It's called Taishan. At the peak time, 80% of the girls are working in the factory making Barbie dolls. Yeah, so Taiwan had a very special feeling about this, fashion doll. Yeah, but today, of course, no Barbie doll made in Taiwan. Yeah, after 1987, they ship elsewhere. Yeah, and today we make semiconductor chips. Actually, it started in 1987, roughly the same time when these toy factories left Taiwan. Yeah, and in 2027, Taiwan produced. Yeah, earlier Dr. Vaz also said we produce over 60% of the world's semiconductors and over 90% of the most advanced ones. Yeah, so this is Taiwan now today. Yeah, so what I want to emphasize is what make this change. Yeah, what's the reason that the Taiwan, became like this today? And here you will see that the change of Taiwan's output value. Okay, I list the 3 different items: foodstuff, garment, and electronic machineries. Okay, in the 1950s. Okay, in the 1950s, actually Taiwan was the major exporter of bananas. Okay, and pineapples. Taiwan was the largest exporter of banana in 1950s. Yeah, and later, Taiwan became a garment kingdom. Yeah, 1960s, Taiwan export a lot of garment, shoes, the clothes. Yeah, and it came to the peak in the 1970s and 80s. Yeah, and then you see eventually the export of foodstuff and garment declined, and then the export of electronic product gradually increased. Okay, yeah. So you see the change of the society. Next, yeah. And why Taiwan gradually shifted to manufacture of electronics and IT products? It is because the world developed in this way. Okay, yeah. First IC was invented by Americans in 1946, just right after the Second World War. Yeah. But the Americans did not keep their advantage. Because to make computer chips, you have to find some computer chips or ICs. You have to find some place that the production cost will be lower. America, after World War II, was the most advanced country in the world. Even the labor cost was also very high. So who make IC or who make these electronic parts? Who? Japan, right? Yeah. So Japan in the 1950s and 60s began to develop their own electronic industry. Yeah. In 1964, the Japanese made IC suppressed the amount of the U.S. and Japan became the largest manufacturer of electronic products. Until even today, right? The biggest brands like Sony, Toyota, yeah, they are all Japanese companies. Yeah. But Japan could not maintain their advantage forever, yeah, because other countries also have a lower production cost. Who? First, it was Korea, okay, and Singapore, yeah, and Hong Kong, and of course Taiwan, yeah. In 1969, Intel invented the DRAM. Okay, I think you know this. Okay, yeah, and the manufacture of such computer chips, you need more skilled laborers. Okay, and also you need actually the most important is you also need the government support to promote the industry like this. So after that, you can see that even Japan could not maintain their advantage. So a lot of these the production of these ICs and chips gradually shifted to Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, and also Hong Kong. Yeah. So in the 1970s, Taiwan and these other areas was also called Asian tigers, right? Yeah, the name of Asian tiger came out in 1970s and also in 1980s because of that. These societies became the key manufacturer for these IC parts. Yeah, and the IC and these electronic parts are so important for our daily life. Yeah, at that time, of course, there was no mobile phone, but we all have a TV sets, we have a radios, we have a washing machines, we have so all those need the ICs. Yeah. In 1980, Taiwan government devoted some funding, so we built up the first semiconductor company. It's called UMC. UMC. It's the first one. But the UMC did not develop to be the biggest one, because some people are smarter than them. Okay, a person called Morris Chang, he was working in the U.S. He moved back to Taiwan in 1980s, and in 1987, he got some funding from government and some other funding from the Philips, the Dutch company. So actually, the TSMC was founded part funding from Taiwan government and part funding from the Dutch company. In 1987, they created TSMC. Yeah, and TSMC today is the giant of the entire semiconductor manufacturing. Next. Okay, this is the most technical slide of my whole presentation today. Yeah, so for those who are good in IT engineering, you know what it is about. Okay, there are 4 different types of the IC. Okay, but I want to show, what I want to say is that when people say that Taiwan is the giant, is a superpower of a semiconductor chips, actually it is wrong. Okay, because we don't produce everything. Taiwan is only good in manufacture certain chips. Yeah, because like a analog IC, yeah, the biggest manufacturer today is still Texas Instruments. Yeah, and the Korean company like Samsung, they are also very good in producing memory ICs. Taiwanese companies like TSMC, yeah, they are good in making logic IC, particularly those who use in iPhones, your smartphones. Okay, their ICs are made, yeah, mainly by Taiwanese companies in Taiwan. Okay, so when India now want the semiconductor, you want your own semiconductor industry. You also have to be, clear about what kind of semiconductor products you want. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to make a logic IC, or you want to make a memory IC, or you want to make others. Yeah. And the technology is not the only concern. Okay. The more important is that, of course, is a production cost. Yeah. And actually today the main competitor for India in this IC race is China. Yeah. Okay. I probably get into this point later. Next. Yeah. So when you talk about semiconductor manufacturing, there are different models. Yeah, I try to also talk to our Indian friends. Yeah, what kind of you don't just look at the success of TSMC. Yeah, you also have to see that what will be the best model for India. Of course, that there is a IDM model. That is a company, they do design, they also do produce, and they also do marketing. Yeah, do everything together, like Intel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, to some extent, Samsung is also like this. Yeah, Samsung has its own brand. Okay, but you see, what is the most famous brand of electronic product of Taiwan? You have to think, right? You know about TSMC, but probably you don't have a real name, brand name of Taiwan that is famous for electronic products. Yeah, but Intel or Samsung, they are good. They are IDM. Yeah. What Taiwan is good is called foundry. Yeah. Foundry is a way of making computer chips. What does it mean? Means that company like a TSMC, they will tell companies, they will tell Intel, say, okay, you just design the chips, okay, and you sell the chips, but we will do manufacture only. Okay, so you can give the most tough task to us. We will produce the most advanced and the most sophisticated computer chips for you. You give us your design, and we will do for you. And our product will meet your quality requirement. Yeah, and they succeeded. So not every company in the world are doing this foundry model, but TSMC is the most successful. Yeah, and also some other companies they do fabless. They do design, but they don't produce. And who produce? Of course, TSMC. Okay, like NVIDIA. Yeah, okay. They devoted more energy, funding, resources for chip design. Yeah, but of course they cannot do the entire design. They also have to franchise to other smaller companies to design certain parts. That is a design service, like the Dutch company ARM. They only have their own framework, and they sell it to other companies. Then they do the chip design. Yeah, And also companies, they provide equipment for producing, for manufacturing ICs or semiconductors. Like this ASML is a Dutch company, because you want to make computer chips, you need the machines, right? Who made the machines? ASML. Yeah, okay. And of course, the machines are made by ASML, they also need a sophisticated computer chips, and those are made by TSMC. Yeah, okay. So what I want to say is that IT industry is actually not just one industry. It's an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem, okay? And it took Taiwan 40 years to build up this ecosystem. Yeah, and so after in the past 20 years, there are some change of the industry. That is, some chips better to move out to China, to other countries, because they have a lower production cost. So some not so advanced chip manufacturing now move to China. Of course, also some went to Malaysia, some went to Vietnam. Yeah, but what Taiwan do? Taiwan keep the most advanced, the manufacture of the most advanced ICs. This is the way Taiwan keep its own advantage. And in Taiwan, all these companies, they form a big ecosystem. Yeah, you see, even the gloves. Okay, when you work in the factory, you also need some suit, you also need gloves, you also need mask. All these also have a special type of equipment. They are all made by other Taiwanese companies. So it became a very big ecosystem. Yeah, and of course the most important part is the talent, the people, the engineers. Yeah, who could really work on site. Yeah, who have a sufficient knowledge and training, who could run the machines of billions of US dollars. Yeah, and only in Taiwan we could create this ecosystem. Yeah. So next. Yeah. So in Taiwan, when we talk about the entire IC industry, it's not just the IC manufacture. It is also about IC design and also about IC packaging and testing. Like Macron, now they're investing in India. They are doing the packaging and testing. Yeah, but packaging and actually I would say that the packaging and the testing are easy way, for you to get into the IT industry. Countries like Malaysia and Vietnam are also doing that. So for India, the best strategy for IT manufacturing is not just focusing on the manufacture part. You also have to see what will be your potential and advantage in IC design and also in packaging and testing. Yeah. So you see, the Macron, they know. So they came here to Gujarat to build up their own factory because they want to use India's, human resources, to do that, to do packaging and testing. Yeah. And India's engineers in Silicon Valley, you can imagine how many of them. Means that India has some potential in IC design. Yeah, okay. So this is my advice about developing IT industry in India, and probably the way that Taiwan could contribute, because all these companies, these are all Taiwanese companies, they more or less have interest coming to India. Okay, next. Yeah, okay. This I think I don't need to repeat. Okay, in terms of our a market share in the world. Next. Yeah. And not just the IT, also other high tech. All these are Taiwan number one in terms of market share in the world, number one. Next. Okay, now I want to, if you allow me, I also want to talk a little bit about the strategic and security issues. The reason is that you see, if the major IT products, semiconductor chips are made in Taiwan, and Taiwan, if Taiwan is in a very peaceful situation, it's a peaceful place, then we're no problem. Yeah, but the problem is that right now Taiwan and the surrounding areas now have some problem. Okay, because China, they impose a tremendous military pressure on Taiwan. This is a photo by our Navy. a Taiwanese Navy on the high sea, and you can see they are monitoring another ship. That is a Chinese Navy. So close, so close. This was last year. Yeah. Next, I show you a few more photos. Yeah. And this map, you see the Taiwan's air defense zones, and the red lines are the routes of the Chinese fighter jets, yeah, and the bombers. They came into this area and then went out. So you can see they had a lot of intrusion into our air defense zones. Yeah. 1,000 in 2021, 1,000 times, and last year is 1,200 times. Yeah, and this you can see some more photos. Yeah, and that is a Chinese aircraft carrier, Shandong. Yeah, and from our Navy, we can see, yeah, from our East Coast. Next. And they also send fighter jets. We take photos. Okay, Chinese bombers and Taiwanese fighter jets. Next. Yeah, okay. Again, yeah. And we also use the drones to monitor, Chinese Navy destroyer. Yeah. Okay. Next. So for the students who have absolutely no information or knowledge about, Taiwan-China relation, okay, you probably get puzzled. You probably could say, what? Yeah, how come China will do this to you? Okay, yeah, I see you Taiwanese, you look like a friendly person. You are a peace-loving country, and why China do this to you? You have to get into the history, then you have idea. Okay, Taiwan and China, one small country, one big country, one island, one big continent. Okay, so in terms of the population, land size, GDP, even the military expenditure, we could never compete with China. Okay, they are too big. Next, yeah, okay. Taiwan-China relation is complicated, but let me explain in a very, very simple way. Okay, before 1950, there was no problem. Okay, yeah. Taiwan was a colony of Japan from 1895 to 1945. 50 years, Taiwan was a colony of Japan. After World War II, Japan surrendered. Okay, then what happened to Taiwan? The Chinese government came to Taiwan and said, okay, now you belong to us. So they control Taiwan, and they built up their own government. From 1945 to 1949, 4 years, the Chinese government, they control Taiwan and claim Taiwan is their territory. But at this time in China, there was a civil war, okay? And the Chinese communists, led by Mao Zedong, okay, they defeated the government, okay, which is called Republic China government. So what happened to the Republic China government? They fled to Taiwan. So in the year 1950, you see Taiwan and China are separated again, okay? And Taiwan was run by a government claimed itself to be China. So earlier you see my title, I'm from Republic of China. It is because the official name is Republic of China. But in China, their capital is in Beijing right now, okay? And their name is People's Republic of China. Okay, so let me ask you, can you tell the difference, Republic of China and People's Republic of China? Very difficult, right? Yeah, how come? When I go out to the street, I tell some Indians saying I'm from Republic of China. They think I'm 100% from China. So that is why in Taiwan, over the past 7 decades, we prefer to be called as Taiwan, okay? And because of this separation, political separation, we no longer consider we are part of China. Yeah, we think we are independent. Yeah, and our name is Taiwan. We are Taiwanese. Of course, we share the same culture. Yeah, language, culture, history. Yeah, we have, but that's all. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we have to be politically together. Okay, next. Yeah. In there are some changes in the next decade. In 1990s, when Taiwan became a democracy, China also has its own economic reform that opened up. So both sides said, okay, we should put aside the difference, and then we should probably sit down and talk and have some cooperation. So in 1993, the envoys from both sides, they met in Singapore, shook hands, they signed agreement. So after that, Taiwan, China could have a trade. People could also visit. I also visit China, yeah, and also I could also receive friends from China. So from 1993, in the next 20 years, you see a lot of exchanges between Taiwan and China. Actually, a lot of Taiwanese companies also make a big fortune in China, yeah. But there is a bigger change in Taiwan-China relation, which is in 2024. What happened? At that time, Taiwan government want to sign a trade agreement with China, and this agreement will allow more Chinese companies to come into Taiwan market. Yeah. So the young people on Taiwan, including my students of same your age, they were so worried about their future because Taiwan is so small. If a Taiwanese market totally open to China, then eventually we'll lose our advantage. Yeah, so they protest in front of the Parliament House, and eventually they storm into the Parliament House and occupy for 1 month, demanding the government to, withdraw a bill. So this is what we call the Sunflower Student Movement in 2014. This is a watershed incident because so after that, the Taiwanese government policy on China, made a U-turn, yeah, dramatically shift. So after the Taiwanese government tried to keep distance from China, say, okay, yeah, we want to protect our own market. Yeah, we don't want to have too much, depend on you. Yeah. So even today, the majority of the people in Taiwan still have this position. Okay. So who is unhappy about this? China, right? China say, come on, yeah. What I want is to, to swallow you, yeah, to place you under my, sphere of influence. So China was so unhappy since 2014. Yeah, so that's why their pressure on Taiwan, political pressure, economic pressure, and military pressure getting higher and higher. Yeah, okay. But if this kind of thing, this kind of pressure happening in other country, it doesn't matter. But the problem is that Taiwan is the leading manufacturer of all computer chips in the world. So it will have an impact on India. Yeah, so this is my point. Okay, next. Yeah, okay, I'm skipping this. Yeah, this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this, no, this. Yeah, this is a cartoon. I wonder if you can understand. You try, okay. That's the Taiwan national flag and Chinese national flag, okay? And in Taiwan, our official name is the Republic of China, right? So we say to them, we are China. And China say, we are also China. And China says, is so angry, say, who say you are China? We are China, you are not. Yeah, okay. Then Taiwan say, okay. We don't call ourselves China. We are Taiwan. And then China so angry, say, who say you are Taiwan? You are China. Yeah. You see, this is a dilemma we face every day. On all international occasions, Chinese are doing so, ridiculous and stupid things to us Taiwanese. But we are not stupid. We are smart. Yeah. So we know what they are talking, why they are doing this. Yeah. Okay. Next. Yeah. And you see, yeah, Chinese symbol is a panda, but this panda became very, angry, aggressive panda. Yeah. So in the past few years, we see that more and more people in Taiwan consider ourselves as an independent country. And the Chinese, of course, Chinese earlier, they also had a high rate of economic growth. Yeah. But their economic growth going down. Now China economy is going down. Yeah. And if in an authoritarian country, if the economy going down, what will they do? They will resort to military adventurism. So they do in South China Sea, in India-China border, and also in the Taiwan Strait.
Yeah, okay. All of this is because Xi Jinping, yeah, the Chinese leader. Okay. Next. Yeah. Finally, give me a few minutes. I talk a little bit about Taiwan-India relations. Okay. Yeah, because I said about the reason I'm here is to promote Taiwan. So I want to give you some idea about Taiwan-India relations. This is a photo I took in Taipei. Festival of India. You see Indian and also Taiwanese. They dress Indian sari and dancing. Yeah. So India's culture, India's soft power is getting high in Taiwan. Yeah. Many Taiwan. There are a lot of Indian food place in Taiwan, and also a lot of Taiwanese people practicing yoga. Yeah, and watch Bollywood movies. Yeah. So actually, in terms of bilateral relation, I think that it's growing. Yeah, gradually growing. Next. Yeah. Yeah. This is our office. It's in Vasan Vihar. Yeah. Okay. Our official name is Taipei Economic and Cultural Center. Yeah, okay. So if you want to apply visa to Taiwan, if you type Taiwan Embassy, you cannot find. You have to type Taipei Economic and Cultural Center. They will find in Vasan Vihar. Okay. Next. We did not have office in India before 1990s. Okay. Yeah. In 1995, both sides, India and Taiwan, signed agreement. And so we opened office here in India. You also open office in Taipei. And your office in Taiwan is called India Taipei Association. Okay, India Taipei Association. You think the name is good or no? Kind of strange, right? Okay, you ask your government to change the name. Yeah, okay. And in 2012, we opened another office in Chennai, yeah, in South India. And just a few weeks ago, we announced we will open a new office in Mumbai. So next year, we will have a new consulate in Mumbai. So in future, if you are in Mumbai or Maharashtra, you want to apply for visa, you don't need to come to Delhi. You can do it in Mumbai. Okay, it's a good news. Next. Right now, the most significant cooperation between both sides is trade. Yeah, and this is also a photo I took. Is a trade show in Delhi 2 years ago. We Taiwan companies, we have our own pavilion, yeah, displaying all Taiwanese products. Next, yeah. And the bilateral trade in last year is $8.5 billion. It looks good and big. Actually, it's very small if you compare to the figure of trade of India and Taiwan. Only 1%. Yeah, too small. Yeah. And India now is the fifth largest trade partner to Taiwan. Yeah. And our investment in India is $4 billion. Also very small. You know how much money we invest in China? Yeah. The Taiwanese companies invest in China $200 billion in the past 40 years. 200 billion in China, only 4 billion in India. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So China, yeah, China is a situation that we spend a lot of money, we invest there, and we hope it will become good, but eventually you grow it into a big monster, Yeah, so we also feel regret. Yeah, but India will have that problem. Yeah, so we also try to talk to our Taiwanese companies. Come to India, invest. This is the best time. This is the best destination. This is the best time. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get into the end of my presentation. Another big area of cooperation we do with India is education. So that's why today I come to VIPS. I taught in a university. We actually have a project that is we know some universities in India. They have language courses. Yeah, okay, they learn Japanese, German, Spanish, French, and some Indian students will have interest in learning Chinese. But you cannot get teacher from China, right? Probably Chinese, they don't want to come to India. So who can come to India to teach Chinese? Taiwan, yeah. So we have this Taiwan Education Center project, yeah. Yeah, in India now we have more than 30 teachers on campus in universities. They come here to teach courses in Chinese language courses and also to introduce about Taiwan. Yeah, these are the Taiwanese teachers in India right now. Yeah, and so if a VIPS is interested, we could discuss the possibility of dispatching a language teacher to VIPS. Yeah, we have one in Amity, Jindal, Ashoka, Shivnada, or your neighbors. So VIPs can consider having this cooperation with us. Next. Yeah. And right now, you can see there are some figures. Every year, before COVID, every year roughly 50,000 Indians travel to Taiwan, and around the same number of Taiwanese travel to India. Small amount. Yeah. You see how many Indians travel to Singapore? Yeah. Okay. Probably 1 million, right, in a month. Yeah. And the number of Indians living in Taiwan is still small, about 7,000. But there are 3,000 Indian students studying in Taiwan. Yeah, probably some of you, in future, if you're interested, you can come to Taiwan to study. Or we could cooperate. Taiwanese universities and VIPS, we could sign partnership. Then you could either go to Taiwan for short term, 2-3 weeks, for workshop, for summer school, and then you could invite your Taiwan partners, university students, to come here, to have a course, to have an event. Yeah. Next. Yeah. And these are the famous brands, Taiwanese brands in India. Actually there are some, computer companies like Acer. Acer is a Taiwanese, okay. Yeah, Asus, your laptop, is a Taiwanese company. Yeah, you heard of a Giant? Giant is a bicycle. Yeah, it's the largest bicycle company in the world, and they produce a very high-end bicycle. Yeah, very high-end for racing. Yeah. And the Maxis is a tire company. Now they have a big factory in Gujarat, and they cooperate with Tata. So Tata cars, they actually use a tire made by Taiwanese company. Yeah. And Foxconn, yeah. Now they are producing iPhones here in India, and they are also expanding their investment, not just in mobile phone assembly. They also want to make a semiconductor chips and also electronic vehicle. Next. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This next one. Yeah. These are some figures of the Indian students studying in Taiwan. So you can see that the STEM student still the highest. But we want to have more students study management, and other areas. Management communication come to Taiwan to study. Yeah. Next. Yeah. This is the last slide. Okay. These are some scholarship opportunities and also fellowship opportunity for the faculty members. Yeah, every year we give more than 120 scholarship to Indian students to Taiwan, including 70 language scholarship and more than 50 degree-seeking students, and also faculty members going to Taiwan for research. Yeah, and among all the countries in the world, India is the biggest number. Yeah, because you are the biggest, in population. So the biggest number of this kind of scholarship and fellowship with India. Okay, so this is my presentation. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, thank you very much. I have a gift, to VIPS. It is not computer chip. It's a porcelain plate. Porcelain, yeah. And I also bring some brochure about study in Taiwan and the fellowship in Taiwan. I will keep it here, so the faculty members and students, if any of you is interested, you could, take a look. If you want more, I will send. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
The chairman.
His Excellency, the Deputy Representative of Taiwan, Prof Mumin Chen, who has become a very good friend now. It's a very beautiful presentation, and an insightful presentation, I should call it. For Professor Mumin Chen's, consumption, India has got 19,000 dialects and 122 languages across the country, with 140 billion people. So potentials of Taiwan and India cooperation are tremendous. And India is no more afraid of the regional bully, whom you named a couple of times. We don't care for it. India is a very steady, it has a very steady way to progress. 1962, China invasion took place, but in 1967, we beat China blues, 400 Chinese soldiers were killed, pushed them back into their territory. So India is acting strategically, quietly, silent for the time being. We are on top of the moon now, all of you. So congratulations to all of you that the Vikram lander has landed on the south pole of the moon. Technologically, India is marching forward, and this is one gray area where in the area of semiconductors and microchips and integrated circuit, that we need Taiwan's cooperation. We cannot be bullied. India is a huge country. But I must appreciate that your per capita income is 2.5 times as big as India's per capita income. In spite of your population size being small, but your life expectancy is still better as compared to the life expectancy in India. Your literacy rate is still higher than what's in India. Your inflation is far lower than ours. You're 0.5, you're 7.5. So in many ways, you are asserting yourself as a soft power. And the brain power is the superpower. You are blessed with that brain power, the superpower. We shall be too happy to collaborate with you because philosophically we gel well and we know what's ahead of us, the threats that lie ahead, the regional bully is there. And India is projected as a regional bully. But we have never ever committed aggression on anybody's territorial integrity. India has been using even the nuclear energy for peaceful purposes, and we have never ever broken the international treaty on nuclear disarmament. The field of space, the field of nuclear sciences, Indian scientists are second to none. And this kind of a collaboration, you rest assured, to the Deputy Representative, but I still call you His Excellency, Mumin Chen. And I'll still call you as a full, complete diplomatic relations with us. We have the same honor and same respect for you as that for any other country. Rather, we don't respect very many countries that are bullies. And we never ever invited here anybody from that country, however big and mighty they may project themselves. But we are also one of the emerging superpowers on the world scenario. India is no way dependent on any country. The only thing that we require is kind of help from friendly countries like yours. And Taiwan, rest assured, one day will be on top of the world. You are keeping an eye on the PLA through your highly advanced technology. So we are also keeping our satellites fixed on the PLA. Don't worry. We will not, we will see India emerging as a power, but not as a bully. And we don't want to work as a bully. We have been a peaceful nation, and we work for promoting sovereignty and integrity of all nations. And this kind of agreement was signed during the period of under Jawaharlal Nehru, an ideal 5 principles which are called as the Panchsheel, the basic principles of peaceful cooperation, peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence is the key to world's progress. So rest assured, Mr. Mumin Chen, that we respect you as rather much more than what their ambassador may be for us. There is so much of, they have sabotaged India many times on many fronts, and even today they are acting as a bully. But we are amongst the 4 advanced nations which have been able to put its foot forward on the moon and on many other, in Mars, our rover is still functional. So scientific advancement is still on the agenda of India. Nuclear disarmament is on our agenda. We want to have a peaceful coexistence with the rest of the world, countries across the world. So we deeply value your visit here, and we feel honored that a professor of international relations and knowing so much about politics and geopolitical, boundaries and everything, the threats posed to the smaller nations, the exploitation that takes place. You're so well illustrated and projected your countries, we're still far behind you so far as the exports are concerned. You're 2 billion, little more, 2 to 4 billion more than what India exports, So that's your power. So let's all stand in solidarity with your nation, and we'll ensure that we as Indians, we promote goodwill amongst nations, and we strengthen the cause of Taiwan in every sphere of life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. In 2011, I had the opportunity to visit Taiwan to be part of its 100-year celebrations of Republic. And during a field visit to Confucius Temple, about which you mentioned briefly, I saw a flight of sparrows. And all this while we had read that in China, they had killed all these sparrows because they were speaking on the crop. So I asked my Taiwanese friend that how come all the sparrows are here? So what he said with a smile and a quirk in his eyes, that like all the intelligent Chinese, all the intelligent sparrows also migrated to Taiwan. So we just heard a very, very intelligent Taiwanese here in today's lecture. Thank you so much for having found time to have come here and spoken to us. For the students here, for all of you here, as I said in one of my things that he's not coming just to engage with the IT people here. We all travel to this college courtesy Taiwan. Ask me how. All the metro projects in this country has been helped by Taiwan through its heavy machinery gadgets. The digging of tunnels, the building of bridges would not have been possible but for the Taiwanese support and Taiwanese engineering infrastructure which they built in this country. Thank you so much for having helped this country. And I'm very glad that it has been about 10 years since I went to Taiwan, and we had gone to visit in your home city in Tainan to solar plant manufacturing this thing, and I asked this question, did you have any collaboration with India? And they said that, yes, there's a country called Tata. There's a company called Tata. I said, it's not, it's the company of this country, Tata. And today you are making tires for them, for their cars. It's a big way forward from the Tata to Tata. So thank you so much for having, come this long way. I'm much grateful to the chairman who wanted, when he saw my photo on the social media, giving you that, having had that lunch with you and giving you that copy of the book, he said, this is not done. Mumin should come to VIPS, and thank you so much, sir, for having bugged me to get you over here, and I think what a wonderful visit it has been here, and it is all because of your pushing and your vision that you are here. Grateful to the Vice Chairman Vineet Vats and Suneet Vats for holding my hands in organization of this event. My colleagues on the faculty, the students who were here in large numbers, the NCC cadets who presented a guard of honor, the colleagues in Vivekananda Research Center, Pawan Vig and Baninder Rahi, whose script I am reading to you all today. She made the script. and the social media team who has been on their feet all throughout, Gaurav Parashar and yes, they are all there. No, I'm telling the people, I'm owing to the people who were part of the core team. And and the production team of VSJMC, I'm sorry, sir, but the production team of VSJMC and my great colleague Ramesh Kumar Sharma, we will soon have these programs, videos on the YouTube. PB Shelley said, I forgot what he said. A joy forever, a good life is joy forever. That's what he said, if I recall correctly. So in my final obeisance to the Lord Almighty for having blessed us with this moment of joy, thank you all and request you to please stand up for the national anthem. Jana Gana Mana Adinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे जनहित तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
What PB Shelley said was, a thing of beauty is joy forever. Thank you so much.